Welcome to the Becoming Your Best Version podcast. I am your host, Maria Leonard Olson. I am a civil litigation attorney in Washington, D.C., a podcaster, author, TEDx speaker, and mentor to women in recovery. You can learn more about me at marialeonardolson.com. Please like my TEDx talk, which is called Turning Life's Challenges into a Force for Good, and subscribe and review this podcast. It helps to get the word out, and also reviews of my books helps to keep them in print. So I started this podcast 5 years ago because my work in the realm of women in midlife has brought me in contact with amazing women who have inspired me and I think will inspire you. Today, we have Rebecca Danigelis, the 80-year-old star of the critically acclaimed and award-nominated documentary called Duty Free. After being fired from her longtime career as a hotel housekeeper at the age of 75, Rebecca has become an activist against ageism in both workplaces and communities. The upbeat mother of three uses her lived experience to educate employers and employees on the values of being age inclusive, underlying the essentiality of including age in DEI initiatives. As a speaker, she has the ability to connect with audiences internationally. Since Duty Free's premiere, she has inspired thousands via notable live discussions with organizations including AARP, the World Health Organization, the National Council on Aging, and more. You can learn more and watch the film at dutyfreefilm.com or follow their social media at dutyfreefilm or at B REBREXIT. And all of this is in the show notes, so you need not write it down. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this.
So, how did this whole thing start with this really great documentary? How did it start?
Well, for several years, I lived in the hotel from which I was terminated. I had lived in the building since 1984, and in 2003, they asked me would I like to put a housekeeping system in there. They were going to turn it into a hotel. I said, okay, get going, get it all going. There for 10 years, working great. And then suddenly, and it was 2014, they told me that just suddenly, Rebecca, we love you dearly, but today's your last day. Just like that. No warning, no nothing. I didn't know at that time they were selling the building or anything. So with 2 weeks pay, 2 weeks severance pay, I was allowed to live in the building for another few months until I left and moved to New York with my son. The reason we got going on a bucket list was because I was working 365 days a year living in, and I never had a chance to do all the things that most people do with their families, like attend my sister's funeral in England, do different things. So my son came to me and he knew I was upset. He said, Mommy, let's take a moment, he said, and let's write a list of all the things you couldn't do when you were working. So I kind of thought, I never thought about doing anything because I always knew I had to work. I never made plans. So I always had guests coming to me, especially were close to the marathon line. All the marathoners would come in. I said, well, I wouldn't mind doing the marathon. And then somebody told me once they were going to milk a cow. I'd like to milk a cow somewhere. Then I understand it's very, and I have to visit my sister's grave in England. I'll do that. And then while we're in London, let's throw a penny from the London Bridge. It's very lucky. And he suggested I went skydiving too. That was not my first thought. And I do not recommend for anybody faint of heart, but I did that. So that's how the bucket list got started. So I said, my answer was, who's going to pay for all this? I mean, I was living very minimally. So he started a crowdfunder, which he did. And in a month, I think he raised $60,000. And we got going, and that's how it did. So I did all these things. He planned it all out, and we did it. Went all over to Europe and showed the film there and did all kinds of things. And
Wow.
we chronicled
So
it.
it was your son's idea to make
Yes.
a movie.
Yeah, yeah. Before he was a journalist for H&N. He was CNN, and he was into, doing that kind of stuff, but he was never a filmmaker. And if you'll see me sometimes in the bathroom at the beginning of the movie when I've got no makeup on and I'm in my nightdress, like nobody would ever see you like that, or me, that's because he was filming with his camera and I didn't know. So you'll see some choice words come out from me, which I didn't know I had an audience. So forgive all that. And it's about me. That's just you see me as I was, cleaning my house, doing stuff, talking to, what do you think? It all started out. We went on and we made the movie, which is now required reading in every German high school, part of their educational schedule. Uh, what happened was signed me up on Instagram, where now I have 43,000 followers.
Wow.
And people I don't know, and I thought it was only me. Woe is me. Oh, how could this happen to me? How many people wrote you that? Excuse me. That happened to my mom, that happened to my dad, and blah, blah, blah. I wasn't alone. I thought I was the only one it happened to. And it wasn't right. And I was
Yeah,
going to say, no, I'm not going to let this happen to anybody else on my watch.
that's
I
right.
can't.
And how did you come up with the title Duty Free for the film?
Because I was never duty free. When you're lying in bed and you're living in and you're the director of operations and you're lying in bed and at 3 o'clock in the morning, oh, Rebecca, can you mind coming down? There's somebody that left their luggage here. They left their belongings here like 5 months ago and I can't find it. Can you help me find it? 2 o'clock in the morning. There's somebody stuck in the elevator. Uh, 4 o'clock in the morning. Gee, there's a drunk in the lobby. Can you? It's a Now I don't have any of that stuff. I can go to bed and know that I'm not going to get woken up. This is the new me. This is
Wow.
the new me. Rested, no big bags on my eyes anymore. I mean, might see wrinkles, but no big bags. No, it's a different lifestyle when you're living. I was responsible. I want the guests to get what they paid for. It's not one of those places say, well, the manager's not here. I was there.
Right,
That was
right,
my job to be there.
right.
And
Wow.
yeah, very
Well,
successful.
I did get to briefly meet your son, Saint Pierre. That sounds French. Do you have French in your family?
Well, yeah, actually, my first job in life was when I was 11, I won a scholarship to Liverpool Girls' College. And I had to learn languages. And then I had a terrible Liverpool accent. Hello there, how you doing then? And the teacher says, Rebecca, dear, we can't possibly teach you another language until you choose that awful accent. Please repeat after me. The lovely lady lingered by the laughingly. The lovely lady. No, 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 dear. The lovely lady lingered by the laughingly. But thank you, Miss Gaffney. My first job was a French translator for the British government on the telephone lines. Don't forget, we didn't have computers in those days. You couldn't just translate. And so you got an English guy who's bought a car in France, and the French guy doesn't speak English, he doesn't speak French. But my job was on the telephone, make the call and translate for them.
Wow,
So
wow.
that was my first job. Yeah, working for the British government.
And how do you like living in the US?
Uh, well, it varies. Right now, I don't think it's a good time for immigrants, but I'm not going to comment on politics. I can't vote. I am a permanent resident. I do have a green card. Okay.
Right.
But it's the land of opportunity. I mean, I had no idea when I was coming to America. I was sent here by the British government to promote British tourism. That's where I met my ex-husband. And I thought I was going to get off the plane and see all these guys, these cowboys. My only experience was like Hopalong Cassidy. Have you ever have seen those things? No car. I thought I was going to see bars and men on horses. No, I arrived in Detroit with these tall buildings and cars driving on the other side of the road, and I was scared. But if you want to work, it's a great country. I've met wonderful people. I've had thousands of employees. A lot of them, I mean, I hired them 30, 40 years ago. They're still on my Facebook. We're still in touch. So
Nice.
wonderful. Yeah.
So what else would you like to do have in your lifetime, which you haven't done yet?
Well, I would like to be able to buy a house and I have a mentally disabled son who lives in Boston,
Mm.
and I had to leave him behind when I came here because, well, for one thing, he wouldn't make the journey. He's 42 and he afraid of trains, afraid of people, afraid of everything. So I'd like to have somewhere where I could bring him and live with him or go back to Boston. I'd like to do that.
Mhm.
But, I just developed cancer. And
Oh,
so right now I'm undergoing cancer treatments, and that's a whole new lifestyle for me. And I'd like to get over this phase. It was just recently diagnosed.
mm,
I'd like to get through this, and I'd like to go back. I was doing tutoring online for American kids, teaching them how to read. I'd like to get back to those volunteer things. But right now, with a doctor's appointment 2, 3 times a week, I can't really do
right.
those things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but I still do podcasts and stuff like that with schools and people's nursing homes and stuff like. Oh, we're invited. We're going to the UN we're invited to a
Wow.
UN meeting just at the end of April, so that's exciting. So I like to meet people and talk about, and I want to get this what I call my protection of older Americans in the job application process law passed. I was going and applying for a job when I first tried to find a job. It was like COVID time, post COVID. And then everything was good. I thought everybody knows Rebecca Danigelis in Boston. I mean, I was scroll down. This is date graduated from high school. And you scroll down, it stops at 1979. Well, hello, in 1953 at 11, I was in college. So no problem, I'll just send it in. Application complete, disregard. I want it. That's how they determine your age when you're applying. So
Mm,
working with Senator Garcia in Texas, we're trying to get this protection of the older Americans, the POJCA Act passed. So they can't ask that question on the internet because it's very covert finding out ageism. And
yes,
when I know my son, he's on the board of directors of National Council of Ageism. So I want to support him and work with people who are having, the same kind of experiences.
yes,
What
yes.
I want to do.
Well,
So many.
what is the subject of your meeting at the United Nations?
It's to talk on ageism and my experience of how, who, what they need to know from my perspective, not my just me, but all the people who are there, what their experience has seen is what they need to do. Yeah, what are the good points and what is, I mean, you find in other countries, for example, I'm from England, free healthcare, housing for seniors, whether you worked or not, you're going to get a pension. Whereas over here,
Right,
I
right.
mean, I've been in cancer for a few months. We're talking now $27,000 in bills just for scans. No, that's what they need to work on. I just keep
Wow.
cutting out all this stuff for people. I'm lucky. I am lucky. I have a son and
Yes,
he cares for me and he takes me. A lot of people don't have that. They don't have it. And
yes.
and, and there's no one there to support them. Closing offices and all that kind of stuff. No. Support the people who built the country, the older people who built the country.
Wow. Yes. What kind of typical advice do you give for those who have faced ageism?
Well, I think you have to set an example. I mean, I have to start with myself. I mean, people say, "Oh, Rebecca, you look so good for your age."
Yeah.
Rephrase that. Rebecca, you look good. Because my response now is, "Oh, I've always looked good." It's just separating. It's a young person, you look good for your age. Separate that in a rephrasing of conversations. And age brings a lot of experience, and you can't fault experience. That's it. You might look better, you might be look good in a nice new uniform at the front desk, and you're all smiling and everything. But when they come and ask you a question, you're gonna know the answer. You're
Yeah.
gonna know.
Yes, my gosh. So, have you seen any changes since starting on this quest to help to change the aging narrative? Have you seen any positive changes?
Well, I think I have. I think because I know that LinkedIn is now becoming very, very age sensitive. And they're calling up. I mean, you'll see before it was just, I need a job, or do you know this? Or congratulations to Janie Q. She's got a job as this. But now it's coming up more and more and more. There is more focus on ageism related issues.
Yeah.
But I think that COVID and all the issues around, the people that died, the older people and the help they needed then certainly has brought emphasis to the need for care in the aging societies. Yes.
Yes.
And but if
So,
I see something, I mean, for example, my thing now is if I see something, I'm after it. I have a mentally ill son.
mhm,
When I lost my job, he quit his job. So what he did was he used to go and get a shot once a month for his schizophrenic. The lady moved that used to give him a shot. She moved to a different center. So he goes, they didn't have an appointment. So they wouldn't see him. Next month, same thing. And I'm not knowing this. When I suddenly find out you have to have an appointment, not anymore. No, I call there now. Every mentally ill person that goes there, whether they have an appointment or not, see them. They're not there. If a mentally ill person goes and says, I need help, you know that's serious. They need help because
yeah,
normally they won't bother. They're not. That's it. When I see things going wrong like that, I just push to
yeah.
try and change.
Good for
So
you. So you
uh,
live in New York now in the
I
city?
live in New York now. I live by myself in this little studio here. I moved into New York, and I was living with my son and his partner. I lived with them for 3 years, and that was okay. But anyway, now I have my own little studio here, and he sees me almost every day. He'll bike over here or come, and his dog is here with me now, and my little dog is here. That's fun, and yeah. So.
What surprises you about the film Duty Free when you saw it first?
I was embarrassed because seeing me, you'll see me in my house. You'll see me on the floor on my hands and knees cleaning up some stuff in the dog. I was embarrassed. But I'm surprised. What surprised me is the reaction. People love it. People say I cried all the way through. So why are you crying? I'm happy, you know. Uh, at the results, at the response it got. I mean, it's really really amazing. The people took to it, and it's been on TV. AARP bought the movie, so it's shown a lot. And then we've had, columnists come to the house and talk about it, and usually about Mother's Day, it surfaces again something. But really, the fact is, Jean-Pierre is the one that made it possible, and he really is a very caring, smart, and I hope if he set an example for other young kids. You know what I mean? We talk to schools and stuff like that, and uh, family is everything. That's the message we want to send out. Family is everything, and if everybody takes care of their family, it's less of a world problem. You care for your family. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, have you
Yeah.
gotten any feedback from family members or friends about the film?
Well, of course, in 19, when I was divorced from my ex-husband, who was the father of my daughter, who's now 53. I'm 83. And I met Jean-Pierre and Gabriel's, our other son's father. I never married him. Well, when I was very ill in 1973. I had two tumors removed from my breasts. Then they weren't cancerous. Now I have cancer now, but um, I sent her over to live in England with my sister because when my mum died, I mean, that's what we did. We all went to live with my sister. That's the way we do it in England. And she never really, and I talked to her every week, she little girl, she never really forgave me. In the movie, when I went to reconnect with her, she had never really forgiven me for leaving her in England and going on and having two more kids. And so it's been a couple of years of making up with her now, you know what I mean? And that reconnection with the family. That's probably the most important thing I did was make up with my daughter and my granddaughter. And now we talk every day on WhatsApp. So that's great. Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. So have you learned how to use social media? Are you posting or?
Well, I do. I mean, I have to because I get, especially just since I became ill. I mean, I think it was 35,500 things to them. I mean, I don't know these people, and they're sending lovely messages and everything like that. Yeah, I can do my own little phone. Yeah, I can do that. The computer, I never really bothered with. I never had. I grew up without a computer. I learned everything in my head. We learned everything in rhyme in March, July, October, May. The Ides are on the 15th day, the Odes the 7th, and all besides. Had 2 days less in knowns and Ides. I mean, everything we learned was in rhyme, like the names of the rivers from the northwest and the east coast of England in rhyme. I didn't know what a computer was. So it's a whole way of communicating. I'd rather, and then you see, for example, in job interviews, I miss the fact that you used to have a resume, you take it to the people, they'd read it, you sit down together, and now and then you just do your resume and see what happened to me with that ageist separation thing. Discarded. It's that personal, close thing that you miss, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
I
Well,
never
that's
had it.
beautiful.
I never needed that. I mean, I learned languages, Latin and French, and without your computer and in your head.
Oh, that's
Yeah. Going
beautiful.
during the war. I mean, we didn't have TV or anything. I the only when we got TV, as I told you, we watched Hopalong Cassidy with his white hat and his lovely horse, but I didn't experience the rest of the world. Used to the radio, Winston Churchill, we will fight them on the beaches. That was my inspiration. You know, different lifestyle, different upbringing. But now
Wow.
Sean Gare is a very good teacher, but I rely upon him too much to do all my forms and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I,
Wow. Well,
computer's not a
that's
big thing for
beautiful.
me. Hmm.
It is beautiful. And
Yeah.
you did something with Marymount University. So,
Yeah, we did.
yeah.
Yeah. We went there. I do the same thing at a lot of universities. They have the students, they watch the film, then they ask questions about the film and how they can help their mums and dads and how they can do the same thing, overcome ages. We just did a thing last week in Seattle. We do it online. The kids watch the movie, then we see like six different classrooms, and they'll come on and they all have questions. And very bright students. I mean, just even comments. One guy said the other day something that struck me real hard, young kid. He said, I watched the movie, he said, but he said, I've come to this observation. He said, America needs to be more giving and less taking. Amazing thing for a young eighth grader to come out with. I mean, that's really great. I like that. I like that teaching them. And what these kids do is they'll go to nursing homes or a mental hospital and they'll see different walks of life that they haven't entered yet. So they have some understanding of what they're dealing with, when they do get older and they're going to get older themselves. So remind them all, tomorrow you'll be a day older. Doesn't escape anybody. But
True,
know one thing, family is everything.
true, true, true.
It is everything.
So I ask this question of all of my guests. What do you do, Rebecca, to become your best version?
I try to help other people. My
Oh,
joy to help. It's my joy to make other people feel comfortable or support them. And because life is not easy. Life is can be hard. And especially if you don't have anybody to go to or, whatever. I'm here. I'm I I'm not that smart, but I'm here and I hear you. And if you're hurting, let me share that hurt with you. Let me share it with you. Because it won't last forever. You'll get over it. You get over it. That's my
oh,
mission, I think. I've been helped. It's my job to help others. Yes.
oh, that is so beautiful.
Well,
Wow. Well, I can see your son got that from you.
oh, he's very good. He's a wonderful son, smart, yeah. And he works out. He works for Firelight Media. He helps them with filmmaking and stuff. And again, he's very caring of older people and interested in that. And like me, he wants to make it a better world for older people. Because I tell him too, one day you're going to be old too. Fortunately, I won't be around to guide you then. So the more you learn from people who you're growing up with and how you guys are going to make a better world for yourselves, the better it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
that-
agree. And
Yeah.
I thank you so much for taking the time to share your message of hope and healing with our audience. And I look forward to following your adventures.
Well, I'll certainly will update you on our visit to the UN, and I think and the New York Times is doing an update 5 years in. That'll be before the end of the month. You'll see that in the New York Times. But happy to share, and I appreciate everybody's support, and bless you all. Really, thank you.
Thank you.